Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk, you me funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore!
I am so excited to be talking to the writer and director of the film. How far does the dark go? And they join me right now. Bears Rebecca Fonte. How are you doing, Bears Rebecca?
I'm good. Thanks, Brad.
Hey, look, first of all, congratulations on the movie. It's such an incredible feat to finish something like this, to start it, to finish it, to go through the whole process. And obviously, you're very, very intimately involved with this film in particular, wearing many, many a hat. So talk to me just about the feeling of it finally, of you saying, picture locked, we got it. How does that feel?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's been so long. We started filming this during COVID. We actually had to take a 9-month break at one point in time when a third of our cast and crew got COVID during the shoot and then come back the next year and finish the film. So it's been a long process, but to see it through from beginning to end, it just really feels like it feels like giving birth to a baby a little bit. You know, this is the thing that has been with me the longest in my life, I think, and I'm ready for the world to look at it and tell me if it's beautiful or ugly. And hopefully beautifully ugly, you know?
Let me tell you it's beautiful. I
you.
really enjoyed the film. For such a powerful film in so many different ways. And you should be very proud of it, and you should look at it like a child. But tell me, like, I'm always fascinated by kind of the germ of inspiration, where it started. So where did this movie or this film begin in your brain? When was that moment?
So I used to run a film festival in Austin called the Other Worlds Film Festival, which is a science fiction and horror film festival. And there was a short film there, about 9 minutes long, about a vampire and her lover and a child, like a small child, that they had stolen, and whether or not to like take that child and turn it into a vampire. And I got to have a good relationship with the woman who came up with that story and starred as the vampire. And the conversation just continued, and eventually turned out that she wanted to make a feature of it. And I started writing, and we came up with a much longer and more involved story. And that process took about a year. And then it was really interesting because it was a gift from her to come up with the germ of the story and then hand it off to me and really just allow me to play in a world that I wanted to create, but then also build it around her since she was always going to be the lead vampire. She plays Evienne in the film. So the first big change that was made was that the went from a child to be an older adult, which we thought would be really interesting if she had raised this child for 50 plus years, and he now looked like twice as old as her, and he was on the verge of dying, and so that changed a big part of kind of the conflicts in the story.
So from draft one to the draft that you go through to production on and start shooting on, like how different are the two drafts, or is that process? Was it wildly different? Was it pretty much you kind of nailed it the first time around and just fine tune?
It's incredibly different. Yeah. The whole process took over a year. And so that first draft really plays a lot more like just a comedy almost, a comedy with a lot of like medical drama. And if there's one thing that bores me, it's like medical drama. Like I'm not a Chicago med kind of girl. So I wanted to get a lot more of the horror into it and a lot more of the romance. So, once I refocused it on being a supernatural romance between the vampire and her nurse kidnappee, that changed a lot of it. And then when I found sort of the mood and the tone that I wanted to go for, which was really sort of this late 70s, sort of 70s vampire exploitation, or we like to call it vamploitation kind of films of the Euro scene, Euro art house scene. And so once it became that, then that really informed a lot of the decisions and like how we were going to shoot, and even a lot of the dialogue and what you could get away with.
For people who've probably worked on screenplays before, written something, obviously the Save the Cat model is out there that a lot of people use in the beat sheet. And I remember reading that book, and they always said it's like when you're pitching the movie, it's this meets this, right? Like, this movie meets this movie is what I'm going for. Did you have like two films in particular that you were thinking of to try to help formulate the tone? Because the tone is so hard, especially in an inventive film like this, to nail exactly.
It's funny that you say Save the Cat because that's literally my favorite book on screenwriting, and I structure my beats exactly. Like if I'm not hitting my one act point by, page 20 or whatever, yeah, I just get very frustrated. I never really had two comparison movies. It was more along the lines of that I wanted to do like a lesbian vampire film, which exists from the 70s and was always made by men, usually for the late night crowd. And so I wanted to do it with the lens on it being more romantic and more for a female audience. So it was just sort of, it was more a genre conversation.
So let me ask you this, because there's an old saying that writers fall in love with their words, directors fall in love with their actors, and editors don't like either, right? And you've had to wear all of those hats. Is it difficult when you spend all this time? Because obviously a writer, I remember Quentin Tarantino always talking about the dialogue is so important and he wants the actors to hit it just so. But then when you get it in front of you and you're doing the movie, something that you imagine in your head might not be connecting and clicking the way that you want it. And it has to be so difficult to say, maybe we go a different direction here. Maybe we leave that out. Maybe we do this. Was that hard to make that transition from writer to director?
For me, it's almost impossible from writer to director, although it's very easy from director to editor. So I find when I'm directing, I'm always like saying that the script is perfect and we have to just trust the writer, because that's how my background is in theater and that's how it works in theater. You're not allowed to change the words to a David Mamet play. You just have to do what he told you to do, right? And so as a director, I'm like, well, let's get the script. I worked on the script for, a year. In my mind, it's got to be perfect or else I wouldn't be shooting it. So let's shoot it the way it's written. And then when I'm editing, that's when I start to really play and move things around, lose whole scenes, grab dialogue from one scene and overlay it on another scene. That's really, plus nobody's hanging over my shoulder at that time. When you're directing, you're always on such a very tight time scale. You're shooting, maybe you have 15 days to shoot a 90-page script. When you're editing, especially at the indie level, you can take as much time as you need. And I certainly did. And there were many versions of this film in the stage, a lot more, I think, than there were in the directing stage for sure.
Oh, well, yeah, I can imagine the editing process though but it is kind of where, some of those dreams, I don't want to say go to die. I guess that'd be the wrong characterization of it. But they go to where it's like, man, I shot this and I saw it in my head, but there's just something about the pacing isn't working right, or it was a 3-page scene, but it feels better as a page and a half, and I got to cut these around. But it must take like I don't know if you were like a math person in school, but it seems like it's a lot of calculus that has to go on to be able to construct that together. How long did the edit take?
Over a year.
Yeah.
I did have the benefit of us taking time between the first time we shot and then the second time. So I was able to edit a little bit about what we shot before we all got COVID and then came back. So I had a little sense, at least of the tone and what we needed to get. But yeah, the math continues. So the cat numbers of like, you want to hit this point by this time. Like to me, that continues into the edit. And I'm like, well, if the movie's going to be 90 minutes, then the midpoint has to be a minute 45. And I'm still trying to like get those tones right. And if it's not working, then I'm like, well, maybe this whole scene needs to move, and maybe this scene needs to be in Act 1, or this scene needs to be at the end of the film, because something is feeling unbalanced. And I really find that helps me more than anything to have, especially when you're an editor and a director and you're on your own and you can do anything you want. It's nice.
Gift and a curse, though. Gift and a curse.
Exactly. So if you make some barriers for yourselves and say like, well, okay, well, this movie can't be longer than 95 minutes no matter what. Well, then you have to make sure that it's not longer than 95 minutes.
Did you ever find a point? So I've never directed a film or anything like that, but I did write a book, and it wasn't a novel. It was nonfiction. But I found myself when I was going through the edit asking myself several times, is this any good? Like, is this am what I'm working on good, or am I just amusing myself? Did you ever have that crisis of confidence and go, is this good, or do I just like it?
I think I still have that, Brad. It's hard, especially when you are writing, directing, and editing. Then, you have to have some people that you trust to show it to. And with this film, it also, I didn't want to show it to anybody until I knew I had the tone right, because I didn't want somebody to watch it and judge it on the basis of something that wasn't. So with this movie, there's always been music behind everything. It's almost cut like a music video. And so until I got some of that stuff right, I didn't want anybody to see it. And then when I was ready, I was like, who is the most perfect audience? And I picked 2 people, and I sat down with them and I just watched it. I didn't say anything. I watched it with them, and afterwards I just got their knee-jerk reaction. And when they were like, yeah, it works, and they're not even film people, they're just people who I would hope that would enjoy this movie. It's just like, and they gave me a thumbs up. And so I started to feel a lot better about it after that.
Well, you should feel great about it. The movie works, and I can't wait for everybody to be able to see this movie. And I'm gonna go back and watch it now with my Blake Snyder Save the Cat beat sheet, and I'm gonna look for them, and I'll let you know. I'm gonna say, oh, you hit all the beats. But it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and congratulations again on the film.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Have a good one.
You too.